Hello, and welcome to Skills to Pay the Bills and today's segment of justaskfreemancom. Please welcome our co-host, Mr. Freeman Owen Jr., CEO and President of Financial Sources, Inc. Hi, Freeman, how are you?
I'm just fine, and I thank you again for having me on board here today.
Well, it is great to co-host with you today.
Thank you.
First, we want to examine, and we want to find out if this is really true or not, why men save more money than women. Our next topic will focus on using a very old concept of bucket savings and how this concept works even today. And finally, if time permits, we want to have a discussion on the 5 elements of leveraging risk. So let's get right into it. Freeman, I happen to have a report before me, and it was compiled by the SaveUp.com organization, which I think they focus on savings and paying down the debt. And I have to admit to you, I was really a little disappointed when I saw this, because what it says is that women are lagging far, far behind men in savings. And I didn't realize that, so I really got upset about that. What can you tell me about
Well,
this
I'm
report?
a little upset about it also, because I dare to differ with this report, because women do save more money than men. It is, I should say, it is documented in other surveys and other reports. The females, the ladies, they save more money as far as 401ks are concerned, the IRAs, and their CDs and money market accounts. Now, I was noticing here the average 401k. Now, that is a big disparity between men and women.
Yes, it is.
When it comes to their employer-sponsored retirement accounts. Most of my practice, it's about 75%, believe it or not, 75% are women who have income programs that we've designed. Our practice designed these programs so that they would have a guaranteed income. And the rollovers I've seen from the various employer-sponsored retirement accounts, such as 401ks, TSPs, or I should refer to as thrift savings plans, 403bs. All these employer-sponsored retirement accounts we rolled over into IRAs. There's a high participation among women. When it comes to the money market, now I do see that there's a $2,000 difference there. The ladies, they have emergency funds because they have a lot, they pull from these emergency monies, the money markets, for various activities they're involved with, their grandchildren, children, etc. So I don't think men save as much because they have their toys already. And a lot of times they do prioritize those toys. And I've seen it since I've been in business over the last 35 years or so. Men, what they do is have their toys, such as cars and boats, etc., and they prioritize their spending in that way. Women are a little bit more conservative. And something else I want to add too. Men are more concerned about hitting the home run, that is getting the best or the highest interest possible. Now, in this economic environment right now, interest rates are very low.
Right.
But women are not concerned about, that much I should say, about the rate of interest they're getting or the type of return they're receiving on their investments. They're more concerned about stabilizing or maintaining their principal and generating income. And that's been my experience. And some of the experts have indicated that, again, women step up to the plate when it comes to savings.
Well, you know, that's very interesting because we do know that there is an income disparity between men and women, with women being on the lower end. So, you know, if they're not making as much money on the jobs, and a lot of times you've got single women or divorced women that have the kids, and sometimes they get that child support check and sometimes they don't. So how do you equate that they're able to save more and they're making so much less?
Well, it boils down to priority. Now, we know that women Here's a demographic based on race and where they live, make between 57 cents to 77 cents to every dollar that a male makes.
Right.
And it is true. You do have a lot of single moms and divorcees, single women, I should say, and widows. Yes. However, it's amazing how they're able to put away a certain amount of money and consistently. And we're going to talk about that later on in this segment or the next segment where they have specific savings. Mm-hmm. And something else too. When it comes to their savings habits with the employer-sponsored retirement accounts, mm-hmm. Now, they may not fully fund that employer-sponsored retirement account, but they are cognizant, or I should say they are aware of the fact that their contribution to these employer-sponsored retirement accounts mm-hmm. provides a salary reduction for them. It's a savings. So again, I reiterate, ladies always save a substantial amount of money some way or another, and they do it more consistently mm-hmm. Than men do.
Well, you just brought up another point. You said that sometimes women don't always fully fund their retirement accounts. What do you mean by that?
When I say fully fund, they don't make the income that men earn.
Right.
Exactly. But they manage. I have seen the statements of their investments. Mm-hmm. I've seen their contributions to various savings programs right. and placing their monies in banks or credit unions. Mm-hmm. They happen to have more income, I should say more monies available to them than most men. Something else too we could add, if there's a widow, now there's what we call survivor benefits. Some ladies are the beneficiaries of large insurance programs.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They, I should say they get their insurance policies, they know this money is all tax-free, and they get a large sum, $200,000, $500,000, which increases their net worth. Mm-hmm. And they, with good counseling, they know how to manage this money, and they know how to, with a good solid background and educated in retirement planning, those monies last their entire life and go on to their children and their children's children. So seem like they have a lot of practice on money management as well. So right. That's the reason many women are able to save more than men.
And as you were talking, I'm thinking when we were talking about employer sponsored retirements, where maybe an employer is going to give 6%. Mm-hmm. A male, because he makes more money, will match that 6%, whereas a woman doesn't make as much. So maybe she's only doing 3 or 4% of it, but she's being consistent.
Yeah, and you know something else, Tia? When you said match, many employers are not matching.
Not anymore.
No, they're not contributing to
really?
The building of a retirement account. I've seen the matching process with various companies just completely go away. In some instances, the employers terminate any contribution to the employer-sponsored retirement accounts. They just don't put monies in there. Mm-hmm. And then when you look at the fact that today, since many employers don't offer a defined pension program, what is happening is many ladies have set up their 401ks, their 403bs. They need support, they need help, and men have more or less neglected to contribute to their retirement plan. So when you indicated that there's matching, that's pretty well archaic today.
Wow.
Mm-hmm, in the workplace. Something. Yes, it is.
Well, would you say that women are more likely to consult a professional like yourself about their finances, or I mean, is it that they're just reading books? When you compare that with men, are men more likely to seek the advice of a financial professional?
Women, again, step to the plate and seek professional help. I've seen it, and I have seen it. I mentioned the fact I've been around here. I've been in business for 35 years. Women seek out professionals to navigate, help them through their retirement years. Men, well, and as recently as yesterday, we had a couple came to my office, and they had attended a seminar that I had presented, and I saw the enthusiasm when we scheduled the appointment and we were discussing finances and retirement planning. I saw the enthusiasm with the spouse, with the wife.
Wow.
And of course, this is just one example. The husband, he was sort of nonchalant, that's it. And he claimed to know a tremendous amount about retirement planning. And not only did I have to correct him, but his wife corrected him as well. Wow. So she said, I wanted to see you, Mr. Owen, because I think that we need some help.
Oh, wow.
And again, I'm not knocking men, but I've just seen how the women step to the forefront when it comes to holding on to their dollars and preserving their assets and seeking help. They'll reach out for help.
Wow, that's good. Well, ladies, let's hear it one time for the ladies. Yay! Freeman, how can our viewers get in contact with you?
You can reach me, you can go to my website, justaskfreemancom. You can get a free Safe Money kit there. There's life guides. There's a tremendous amount of important content relevant to retirement income planning.
Oh, wow.
Yes, indeed. And if you wish, you can contact me direct and get a free, no obligation consultation or review of your resources. And we will develop, we don't charge fees, a retirement income plan. And when we develop that plan, it is centered around making sure that you have a guaranteed, I'm going to use this word, guaranteed paycheck.
Wow.
That will supplement.
Guarantee, you don't hear that very often.
That's right. And that guarantee, of course, I use insurance products,
right.
Such as annuities, both fixed and fixed indexed annuities, life insurance, long-term care or skilled care policies. And the way they are applied, we use retirement strategies, not just sales. Sit down and find out. I always tell my staff, get to know your client. That's it. And
that's a key point.
Again, you can call us at our office at 1-866-471-SAFE. We have operators that will be there standing by to accommodate you. And again, that website is justaskfreeman.com.
Well, we're going to take a short station break. We will be right back after these special announcements. So don't touch that dial.
For some folks, saving for the future is easy, but for you, it might take a little more effort. Saving for your future is your responsibility. Save now or work forever. The choice is yours. Choose to save.
Welcome back. You're watching Skills to Pay the Bills and today's segment of justaskfreeman.com. Our co-host is the one and only Mr. Freeman Owen Jr., CEO and President of Financial Sources, Inc. Freeman, you gave out a lot of great information before the break. I'm just wondering, do you give out free legal advice?
No, I do.
Tell us about that.
I do not provide legal, investment, or tax advice. Okay. I provide information and retirement strategies using the products I indicated in the last segment, which is basically backed up by the claims paying ability of the various insurance companies. And they are rated, usually 100% of them, the companies I use to provide these strategies or products, A+, Standard & Poor's, Moody's, A+, high ranking, or I should say crediting by these major companies, I should say, that I just indicated here. No, I don't, can't do that.
So that's clear.
That is very
No
clear.
free legal advice.
No free legal advice, no.
But information and education.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you do need a legal professional, then I do have a consortium that is
Okay.
sort of like partner with us that provides
Oh, that's good.
living trust,
Yeah.
advanced directives, pour over wills. If you need an accountant, I have an accounting firm that works with our clients. So we do have professionals in those areas that we just indicated here that will help in developing a great retirement income program for you.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Freeman, I want to move to our second topic, and I'm going to go way back in the day. My
All right.
great-grandmother
Okay.
down in Starkville, Mississippi, had 9 children, a host of great-grandchildren, and that woman always had money. I don't care if you were 10 years old or if you were 65 years old, if you needed a dollar or whatever, she had it.
That's right.
And as a kid growing up, I can remember, well, for lack of a better word, I'm going to call them little sugar bowls.
Right.
That money would be stacked in each one of those sugar bowls. She didn't have a bank account that I knew of. So I'm thinking that was the way she was saving her money. Here lately, I've been hearing about the bucket method of savings, and so I'm thinking, okay, are we bringing back something from the olden days, back up to today?
The present.
Can you talk about that?
Sure. These buckets are targeted accounts. All they are savings accounts or money market accounts. These monies are placed in banks or credit unions for specific reasons. A lot of times it's for short-term programs, or I should say short-term goals. Not retirement, but vacations. Okay. You have home improvements. There are, when I mention vacations, a lot of my clients say they like to take cruises, or a specific item for their children or grandchildren, such as computers, or they may open these accounts and have long-term, long-range goals as well. And they literally label them, but here's the suggestion I would make. When you create names for these buckets, they say, well, because you just mentioned your great-grandmother. I remember my grandmother and my mother. They had the little jars there and with the little labels on it and say, well, I'll put a few dollars in here every payday and so on, and then they reach the goal. But I know that a lot of people say, well, how do you have these all these accounts? Will the bank or the credit unions, will they charge tremendous fees
Right,
for
I was
that?
thinking of that. How many accounts can you have at a bank?
Very simple. You can have one account, and what you do is you label, as a matter of fact, I pay my bills via bill pay. And you have your titles there for specific goals that you want to reach. And automatically, you just simply take it out of your check or a particular account and place it in those various accounts. It's not a separate account, but the account is broken down into different categories.
So it's one account, and that account is broken down into different sectors or categories, as
categories.
you say.
Yeah, if you plan to take a vacation, purchase a computer or a laptop or some type of item that you wish to purchase on the short term, well, just label it within that account, and there's a way there in which you can bill pay. If you receive funds that are EFT to your account, you just do a little, hit that little button there, and it'll go directly to that particular category, and it could stay there and be there for, or you can fund it along the way, 5 months, 6 months, a year, or whatever your short-term goal is.
Wow, I'm embarrassed to say I didn't realize that you could have one. I thought you had to have a separate account for each of the so-called buckets.
No, you don't have to do that.
Wow.
Because if you did, there's limitations.
Well, that's what I thought on how much you can have in an account.
And there are limitations as far, well, let me put it this way. There are restrictions. I call them restrictions anytime. Now, this is a true story. There's a savings account that one of my grandsons have in a major bank. I won't name the bank. But I saw that each month, then we automatically, these monies go directly to his account for a specific goal that we have set up for him. I looked at the statement. They charge $5 a month, all right, for that one account. And for that specific goal that he has, that he set up, the fee is just as much as that. You might as well say you're going to take, we're putting away that $50 a pay period, or every 2 weeks,
Right.
and you see $5 go out of it. Well, I didn't quite understand that, so what we did is we moved that account. So there are restrictions.
And that's $5 a month?
$5 every time
You
put that
Put a
50, make that transaction. Yeah. So I happened to note that, and they said, well, you can get an account such that you don't have to pay the fees. Well, we've been doing it for some time. Never paid any attention to it until my grandson, he brought it up.
Wow.
He said, you know, Granddaddy, look at this statement. They've been taking $5 every time I put 50 bucks into my account. And that's one of his little buckets. So he has 2 of them. And every month, he takes and put X number of dollars into the account. And one of them, then we fund the other account.
Okay.
Or fund the other category for him within that account.
Right. But you changed that.
I changed
You
that
changed
up.
that.
I most certainly did.
Right. Well, that's
Right.
good. Okay. Well, so my great grandmother was onto something.
She was on to something. She was before her time. To be here right now and to see how these targeted accounts are created today with the technology that we have,
Right.
she would be amazed.
She would. Well, I don't know a whole lot about annuities, but I seem to recall that this bucket concept is kind of goes along with annuities too, and I'm wondering, did they pull it from great grandma?
Well, here's how that works. It's called, what you do is that you're able to provide multiple contracts, these annuities, and I'll use the word ladder them, such that, let's say you open the client purchase, I always say purchase your retirement. You purchase 3 different contracts. One, you can take an immediate income, already. The other 2 will be working, and you take this immediate income over a specified period, maybe it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. What do you think is happening with the other 2 contracts? If they're getting some kind of guaranteed minimum interest, over that time span, let's take, for example, let's go out 5 years, so you take an immediate income. The other 2 contracts are getting a guaranteed minimum amount of interest. Alrighty. At the end of the 5 years, you start the second contract. All right. That is accrued interest and has been deferred, so therefore you're not paying any taxes until there's a distribution.
Wow.
Alrighty. So you take an income another 5 years or another 10 years. What do you think happens, Tia, on the second contract? You extend that out 5 years and draw an income. What is happening to that third contract?
It's building.
It is building.
Increasing.
It has been building from day one over a 10-year period. So lastly, we have the third. We can either set that up so that it is a lifetime income that is distributed to the participant, that is for the rest of their lives and their children's lives. So this is the laddering effect. We take maybe 2 or 3 contracts, draw an income, or we might leave all 3 deferred for a specified period of time.
Okay.
And you can choose which one of those contracts to start getting a distribution from. We say, all right, let's go to the second contract that I open. I think I'll take an income for the next 5 years. However you work it, you can have it what we call laddered. Draw an income, the other 2 are working. And I like to use guaranteed minimum interest. The interest, of course, could be higher.
It could be higher.
Yes, it can. But we have the guaranteed minimum amount of interest applied to the other 2. We take an income from the second one, and then last with the third. And couple that, or I should say, infuse that with the other resources you have, Social Security, it's guaranteed paycheck. If you're lucky, I want to use that word lucky, to have a defined pension program. Right. And with the fixed index annuities or fixed annuities that you have, which provides a lifetime or guaranteed income, you can do pretty well if you know how to get the distribution from these contracts. And you can't navigate retirement all by yourself.
Right.
With
That's
professional help,
Right.
I would recommend our viewers to get professional help from a credible financial professional. Sit down and plan out your retirement income such that you can't outlive it. And that refers back to some of that's a bucket concept.
Concept, yes.
Take 3 buckets and you can even have 1 bucket grow back to the original principle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, buckets are important, and you've heard that on Skills to Pay the Bills.
Yes, indeed.
Freeman, we have about a minute left, and I want you, and we probably will have to have another show to get into details with this, but can you tell us a little bit about leveraging
the risk?
Because I heard a seminar that you gave. I heard not the whole thing, but part of it,
Right.
and it was like you were given 5 elements to
I
that.
did.
Can you quickly
do this?
do that? Yes.
One of the greatest fears that many retirees have is outliving their assets, outliving their resources. The second is inflation. Then there's the loss of a spouse. There are many risks: healthcare expenses, which is increasing at a phenomenal rate, skilled care, long-term care. This is just a few. But there are ways to mitigate, or I should say, reduce the risk. Outliving your resources, guaranteed income. There are products that will take care of that for you. Inflation, would build inflation fighters. The loss of a spouse, you need survivor benefits. Well, life insurance could step in there for
Right,
that.
that's true.
There are many purposes for life insurance. That's just one. And then it's just healthcare expenses. The escalation of healthcare from private healthcare, all right, group policies, to Medicare, which is a big topic now since there have been increases in the various parts of Medicare. And then lastly, long care expenses. If you're over 65, there's a possibility, if you're husband and wife, that one of you will need skilled care.
Wow.
So and there's a possibility of loss of assets if the money is spent down, if you don't have a policy for
Well,
that.
thank you so much, Freeman, for doing that so quickly. Folks, we thank you so much. We're out of time. Freeman, thank you for being such a
and
great host.
Thank you for having
We
me.
are so happy that you joined us today. If you have any questions about the show, Skills to Pay the Bills, please email me at skillstorock@gmail.com. If you have any questions for Freeman, www.justaskfreemancom. We are here for you. Bye-bye.